good. So where were we? Oh yeah. last time around I was in the States. Yeah, it was in May mixing the album, and then I stayed over for on Sunset for about a month to finish all the cover artwork and all the the shit.
And so where were you mixing it?
In a place called Paramount Studios in Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
So we did it there. Tim Palmer, the producer, mixed it, and had a few listening sessions there, and then a few weeks off, and I was just enjoying the sun and spending a lot of money at the the Virgin store there, just buying a lot of books and stuff you can't get so easily from Finland.
Like what?
Oh, it's getting hotter. Oh, I can't remember. I really can't remember because I buy loads of shit always, books mainly. So on this tour, we've been here for 2 weeks. I've spent maybe $1,500 in books.
When do you get a chance to actually go to the bookstore?
Well, yesterday we had a day off, but this Florida, so people are it seems very illiterate. So it's really hard to, it's like 12 miles to the closest borders. And borders they don't hold necessarily all the independent books I'm looking for, so they're lacking pornography, they're lacking some, literature of transgression, so to speak. So they don't have all the, weird stuff.
So what kind of authors are you reading right now?
Oh, but for the first time I got introduced to a fellow called Craig Clevenger, who wrote the Contortionist Handbook and something else, He's pretty good. But then I got into, a French guy called Georges Bataille.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The Story of the Eye.
The Story of the Eye and stuff like that. So, but I'm just waiting to be able to have a day off in like in Boston or something where they have really good bookshops to get all the weird stuff going on.
Did you do any of the European festivals this year?
We did 2 in Finland, but basically how we spent our summer was finishing up the album and then touring with Metallica. We did Wembley Arena, no arena, but the stadium in London and the stadium in Stockholm, Oslo, Helsinki, Moscow. So that was kind of our festivals this year.
How was it playing to Metallica's fans?
Terrible.
Terrible? In what way?
They're very hardcore. That's something we knew in advance. So it's a pretty tough crowd because they've been maybe waiting there for 48 hours sleeping in their sleeping bags outside of the venue, queued up to see their favorite band of all time, and then there's 5 wankers from Helsinki trying to play what they call love metal. It's not the easiest spot, but it went down well in a couple of places. It really was fine. But then Wembley was tough because they had Mastodon, Machine Head, then us and Metallica, and we're like lightweights when it comes to sound. So
you were sandwiched in the middle of that lineup?
It was kind of, I don't know, I appreciated the invite, and everything went down really well. All the, it was well organized and everything worked out, but it was a tough crowd. But then at the end of the day, remember if you're playing a stadium in front of let's say 60,000 people, what you're going to get is basically the reaction of the first couple of rows, and those are the hardcore fans who just want to see Metallica and nothing else. So no, it's fine.
So how did you get set up with the Project Revolution tour?
I don't know.
You don't know? Have you played with Linkin Park before? Did you have any kind of connection with them?
We were supposed to be touring with Mike Hams back in the day, but it was right before they went really big over here. But no, it's just one of those things, we checked out possibilities of touring over here, and then, surprise, surprise, Linkin Park, Mike Hams, Take It Back Sunday, and us were all on the same label. So that probably had something to do with it. So and makes Warner Brothers, it makes it easier for them to promote the whole thing because they have all the main acts on the main stage are basically theirs. But besides Placebo and Julie and Kay. But I don't know who had the idea of getting us involved. But it's pretty good. It's pretty, none of the fans are full-blown mainstream musically. They're a bit left to the senses, so that's fine with us.
So you didn't have any reservations about the lineup because it seems really, really varied. Especially Linkin Park doesn't have a Metallica audience, but they have real kind of hetero American audience. I mean, how has it been going playing for such a diverse crowd?
It's been fine, I guess. I don't know. We're just halfway through the tour. We're playing in the middle of the day in the sunlight, almost for 40 minutes. And especially with this heat, it's hard to say who likes it. and who's just shaking their hands because they want to get some air.
Right.
And every city's been different. It's been good so far, but it's like I can't wait to get on our own tour. Because then it's our crowd and we play in the club and we get the lighting working and it's our show. And we play in an hour and 30 minutes or something. So the mood is a bit different. And also we're having a lot of days off from this tour, so it's kind of weird to play 2 gigs and then be in Florida for a day doing nothing and then playing 2 gigs and the same again. But I'm not complaining. It's just something I haven't been used to. It's new for the whole band.
So how have you modified your stage show or your song selection to fit that 40-minute format?
Well, we're playing 3 new songs and then 6 of the old ones. And most of the songs anyway, they're more than 4 minutes long, so you only have the opportunity of playing nice songs. So it's just like it's kind of weird. It's not getting into the mood, especially with this heat. But I don't know. We're changing set all the time, depending on what feels good and what doesn't. We're switching songs around and kind of like rehearsing for our own tour as well at the same time.
What's the biggest difference you've encountered between European festival audiences and American festival audiences?
It's the biggest difference. People drink a lot more water and vitamin water here. They're not as drunk and they don't smoke. They seem to be in good health. Not necessarily mental health, but not physically. But we don't hang around with people. We don't even have a dressing room most of the gigs, so we're just in our bus. So we don't get the chance to actually hang out with the bands that much, or hang out with people. So
is that by choice?
Half and half. It's Linkin Park doesn't want anybody to smoke anywhere on the festival site, not even outside.
Including the audience.
I don't freaking know about that. I'm not going to the audience to smoke cigarettes. I'm just staying in the bus because I can smoke there, and it's comfy. I got my books there. But that's kind of wanky. What kind of fucking revolution is that? We can't smoke. It's very, it's kind of anti-rock and roll, but who cares? Staying in hotels where you can't smoke is kind of like, what the fuck?
So, what do you do in your downtime then on this tour? Just reading?
Read and bathe. But I don't do shit. Just want to go back home. Start working on new music and stuff like that. So I'm carrying my acoustic guitar around and playing a bit and just, it's just, hold on, this whole tour lasts for about 2 months and you're only playing like 60 gigs or something. So which is kind of weird. We're used to playing like 5 gigs in a row and having a day off, which is usually a traveling day. So you spend your time more wisely. I do understand that the organization is bigger and they got bazillions of trucks to unload their gear onto the stage and stuff like that. So I understand the days off in between, but still it's kind of like I'm feeling antsy in my panties. Just like.
So you prefer to have it back to back like that?
To get it going on is, when you smell like shit and look like shit, and that's I guess called rock and roll. But it's more like bikers in the rape and pillaging and looting type of thing.
So, what exactly does the term love metal mean? That's the term that's used to describe your music, but I wanted to know if you could explain that simply.
Well, let's say it's metal music for people who ask whether it's okay to shove your dick in first. So it's very gentlemanly, that's what. Because most of hard rock is considered, or used to be, very misogynist and very, barbaric. We tend to be a bit more literate. And we understand that no doesn't mean no.
Do you find that an oxymoron at all to be playing so-called, this sort of more sensitive hard rock? Was that never a question to you?
Well, it's all about safe words, isn't it? You could be sensitive and hard at the same time.
So, you said you can't wait to go home. Are you going back directly after this tour?
Yeah, for a few days, but it's, then we got to start working because the album Venus is coming out next month, which means that we'll probably play something like promotional gigs somewhere in Europe and the UK, but it's still all up in the air. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just want to have some time off. I still haven't had the time to fucking unpack my my boxes back at my home where I moved more than a year ago. So it'd be nice to like have a bit of time off.
How much? How often do you get to go back there? How much time do you get to spend at home?
Well, since we started mixing the album in May, I've been home for 4 days, I guess. So not a lot. But usually we have more time when we start working now, because usually we do the pre-production and the rehearsals back in Finland. So, but that's a new album coming out, so everything might change. You never know. If it's going to be a success, that means a lot of work. If it's not going to be a success, that means even more work. So anyway, we're going to be fun.
Is major success in the United States important to you at all?
No, yeah, sure. It is. Success in general, of course it is. It's necessary for us to survive. Yeah. If we want to be successful at all, we'd have to have day jobs which would take away from us the possibility of working on our songs. So, yeah, sure. The more fame the better, because then you have more time of working on your own stuff. But I don't necessarily mean that we have to be like Michael Jackson famous. Not that big, but we'll see. It'd be nice. Last time around we toured so much in the States that we forgot most of Europe. So this time around we're trying to make up for that and do a bit more gigs in like Eastern Europe and stuff like that. Go back to like Czechoslovakia and Poland, and be a great place we haven't seen in ages.